chance to view the house on Windsor Mill Road, which in fact is an old house. I'm interested, what do you think of it?
I think it's a lovely house. The fact that it's old doesn't bother me at all. That's wonderful. The grounds are beautiful, and they're large, and there's a nice backyard for my son. You know, I have a 5-year-old son, and I was impressed with it. I was impressed with it.
Years ago, the house had been renovated. There are some things done to it throughout that time, and now it's become an investment for me. We've had about 3 people there since then. What do you do for an occupation?
I'm an esthetician. I have a license with the state of Maryland, and an esthetician practices skincare, makeup, and waxing, and I've been doing that. I've been in the business for 15 years. I've had my license for 11 years.
This idea of waxing to me is very new. So, could you explain the process? Isn't that where you remove unwanted facial hair, especially in women? Is that what wax is normally used for?
Yes, that's what we do. We get rid of unwanted hair, and I do makeup lessons and skincare on women. I also do quite a few men in my business, so it's exciting. It's very exciting. I'm people-oriented, and I enjoy my work very much.
Would you be able to remove
oh,
my
you're very
facial hair?
handsome.
I wonder if I'd look better with that type of hair.
And I like your mustache, too, so I would never wax that.
Do you plan to do you plan on conducting your business within the home?
I have a salon right now. I'm renting space from a large beauty salon. I may convert one of the rooms, the small room, and put maybe a waxing pot and do a few clients in the house, but I can assure you that I'm extremely neat and my salon is immaculate, and I make sure that nothing drips. I always lay plastic down on carpets and that type of thing. I'm not going to be using your home as my primary salon, but to tell you the truth, there might be a few people, friends and clients that I'm close to coming into the house. Yes, that's a possibility.
The idea of you using the other access door would be helpful for you so that your clients could come in and out. It may be able to work within your schedule. The rent that the utilities that you pay for that space, does that include things like water, parking, other things like that? Water and parking are included in the rental. However, phone, equipment, gas, things like that, you will have to contract other people throughout. Did you have any other questions for me?
Could you tell me what your last 3 utility bills were so I have an idea of how to budget?
electric, I'd say it really varies between $50. For AC and different things like that, it really depends on the person using the hot water or the heat, the washing machine. So yeah, that can add up to quite a bit. But if you're outside a lot, that type of thing goes down. Or if you don't use a tremendous amount of heat, or you keep within your own budget, the cost is down. It really depends on the person. It varies. I'd say about 100 to 150 every month for gas and electric. About that. Also, in the living room and the bedroom, there is a conjoined space. Which would be nice for you and your son. There's also a garage for your parking. And please make sure that you lock your car at all times. Because if you want to keep that car, you're going to have to make sure that it's safely taken care of. So, on average, what would you say your regular day is like? Do you work evenings or nights?
I usually go in around 10 after I drop my son off, and sometimes I work until 8 or 9 in the evening. My parents take care of my little boy for me after he gets back from school. And then my days off are Sundays and Mondays. And sometimes I'll go in late or I'll get home a little early. It depends on how many bookings I have.
Going back to you wondering about using the space for people coming in and out of the house, would that be sporadic throughout the day? These clients coming in and out?
Yes, because a lot of my girlfriends will come in. That's mainly who I do. A few clients that live close to the house, it would be more convenient for them to come to the house. And a few girlfriends that visit on the weekends or maybe perhaps my day off. That room looked ideal because of the separate entrance. But I want you to understand that I do have a primary salon outside of the house and that there are not going to be a tremendous amount of people traipsing through the house. I would definitely keep that down to a minimum.
Understandable. One other thing, I'd like to ask you a little bit about your background growing up. Did you grow up here? Or did you move from Baltimore?
I am originally from Bowie, Maryland. Have lived there for almost 30 years.
I'm curious, why did you move from there to Baltimore?
Being closer to a large city like Baltimore, a lot of my clients come from north of Bowie, and I'm looking for a new clientele.
Do you have family other than a son? Or is it just you and your son? Are you married?
I have a little boy. He's 5 years old, and yes, I am a single mother. I've never been married. I
This is indeed a 3-bedroom house. Would you say that's too big for you, or is it a comfortable size? Is that something for you and your son you might still be interested in if it's only the two of you? I mean, if you can afford it, that's fine.
Yes, I'm used to a large house, and that's what I'm looking for my son. I don't want to raise him in an apartment or a townhouse environment. I like the fact that it's a single family home. I love the fact that it's older. You've done a beautiful job with it. And I'm comfortable with the fact that it's that big, and I'm also comfortable with the price that you're asking. I think it's reasonable.
Alrighty. I understand your decision not to want to be in an apartment. But I have had experience in the past with tenants who have decided that they wanted to move out, and it's been a little bit hectic. We've had to go through different procedures.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because my 5-year-old son desperately wants an animal, and I am highly allergic to animals. So I take him to my sister's house, and she has a beautiful collie that he plays with. And my sister-in-law, who has 5 children, she has a little zoo over there. So I send him to my relatives when he gets a craving for an animal. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to have an animal unless I get shots, and I'm not right now willing to do that. So that's not going to be a concern. There will be no animals or pets in the house.
Okay. If you ever have a problem within the house, there are many things that we can fix. But for specific problems, you may have to call someone who can come in and get things like that. For any maintenance issues, you may have to call another worker to come in. But for things like paint, those type of things are your own responsibility within the home.
Are you finished renovating the kitchen? I noticed that perhaps it could use a coat of paint.
What, you don't like the color purple? Is it not your taste?
Well,
I'm just
normally
joking.
I like purple, but not in my kitchen.
Do you think it's a brighter color that you may need in such a small area?
Yes, I think that because it's small, the dark purple color makes it look even smaller. Maybe something lighter, but we of course would consult on that. Sounds like you would like to get rid of the purple kitchen too, so perhaps I could help you with some decorating ideas.
Trying to remember all the questions I had for you. So after this, you'll once the application portion has been filled out, you can give that to me and I'll make sure to look it over. And from that point on, we'll go through more discussing. I'm trying to get a feel of the type of people that may be moving in here. There's also a $500 deposit required. And that'll be sorted out once all the leasing agreements have been signed. Did you have any other questions for me that you'd like like to discuss here?
I'm sure that there's more questions I'm going to have as I review the lease and the application. But I just want you to know that I'm a very responsible person and that I am a totally dedicated mother. And my life revolves around my son's life. I don't have a boyfriend at the time. There's not men coming in and out of the house. I make sure that my son keeps things neat. I'm very careful about, in fact, I'm fanatical about him spilling things on the carpet. He's very careful. I mean, he's as careful as a 5-year-old can be. But I want you to know that I'm very conscientious about other people's property. And when I move in, I will consider it my house for that time that I'm there. And I promise that I'll take very good care of it.
Thank you. So, like I was saying, after we've looked over the lease and everything, and, you know, I appreciate that you saying that you would take pride in the house, and that you take even more pride in being a mother over your son. That would be an ideal situation for the person moving in. But, you know, let's say a few months from now, you start to fall behind rent and you don't have someone else that can support you, we might fall into an issue, and then we'll have to take that to court. And really, that's such a sticky situation. I would not like to go through that experience again. I have had previous experience with that sort of thing. So I'm just trying to figure out, with your background and the knowledge that I've gained, you know, would this be an adequate move for you? Is this something financially that you can take care of with your son and all those things?
That shouldn't be too much of a problem because I've anticipated that I would probably spend about $1,000 a month just in the rent, and I have some savings, so I can assure you there's not going to be a problem that way. I did think of one question, though. The lawn. I'm a busy lady, and I really know nothing about gardening and lawn maintenance. I have brothers that and a father that used to do the lawn mowing, and that's a question that I have. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do that. Do you think you could help me out, or are you responsible for the lawn maintenance?
Really, those are separate responsibilities from that of my own. And to be honest, I haven't had that type of experience with adding something like that in, but perhaps we could add lawn maintenance into your lease.
I think we could work together. Perhaps at the time that you are mowing the lawn, I can be weeding or bagging or helping, but I don't know if I'm comfortable about you asking me to pay for that service. Perhaps I feel that it should be included in the rent. But I'm very flexible, and I'm willing to help you with it.
Okay, well, if I do decide to take care of the lawn, maybe you could give me some sort of waxing treatment so that I could look nice for summer. You know, my bikini or my shorts for swim season.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
I think we can work that out. Maybe a pedicure, so when you're wearing your sandals, your feet will look good. I'm sure we can work that out.
Oh yeah, pedicure.
Just pedicures and manicures. I don't do
nails?
Sculptured nails, which men I guess you, it's fake nails that women wear. I don't do those, but I do pedicures and manicures. And I do quite a few men. Men love pedicures.